Adobe just dropped a massive and, in my opinion, not a very good update to Premiere, and this is called Color Mode, which you can reach by going up to the top of the frame and selecting Color. This all-new color mode is supposed to replace Lumetri Color altogether in the near future, and they've built this completely from scratch, so there's supposed to be a lot of good things happening under the hood. But I don't think this is quite finished yet, and it is still in beta, so I just hope they make a lot of good tweaks to this before really publishing it out to the final version of Premiere. But now let me show you how it works and why I don't like it. So this is the all-new interface where you're supposed to do all your color grading in the future. Actually, if we go back to the editing workspace, you can't even find the Lumetri Color here as a standalone panel, but it's only found under the effects. But I'll come back to this in just a bit. So in the color workspace, or color mode as Adobe calls it, we have this new layout that actually looks pretty decent in my opinion. On the right, you have all your clips from your timeline, on the bottom the adjustments, and above that your timeline with a preview of your active clip, and you can choose to have the timeline work for the whole sequence or just the active clip. You can obviously move these around, and you can also open up the scopes that have also been redesigned. Now, at a first glance, I think this looks pretty decent, and actually I was pretty excited when I first opened it up because of the way it looks, but you'll see the issues that I have with this once we start working in here. So to tweak something in here, you have to add the clip or sequence adjustments or styles that you want to use. If you add the adjustments, you get a basic set of coloring tweaks. But if you want to get more specific, you have to add an individual color editing module. So let's add a module, but instead of them being available easily here somewhere like above the adjustments, they're hidden behind the styles menu and then under the style modules. Now you can add one module from here and then add more by clicking on the plus here on the right. By clicking on the module name, we can open or close it so we can keep things organized, which is really nice actually. Now to tweak something, you can click on the tool and then move your mouse up or down to tweak one thing, and then left or right to tweak something else, or you can also just hold down and drag your mouse around. Now if you hover over the tool and hold your mouse there, you will see what each movement tweaks. So what it's doing when you're going up and down, and what it's doing when you're going left and right. I don't really think this is the most intuitive way of working, but I think this is something that we can all get very used to. However, seeing how much I've tweaked something by looking at a slider or numbers is a lot easier than looking at this weird circle thing with a little dot that shows many things at once. Also, I find myself overdoing the tweaks all the time, as by default this is way too sensitive. Now once again, I think this is something that we could get used to, but when you're used to doing it the old way, I think this just sucks compared to that. And I mean, just at least give us the numbers that show us what we've done to our image, how much we've tweaked things. But this is just an UI thing, so I think it's going to be a very easy fix for Adobe to do, and I hope they will do that. Also, when I tweak something, you can see the color scopes for the thing that you're tweaking pop up here in something that Adobe calls an HUD, or a heads-up display. I really do like this idea, but I think the way it's implemented is not very good. But I like the idea of having the scopes open up for the thing that you're tweaking, so you don't have to have all the scopes open up at once, because you're seeing or getting the scopes opened for you when you do those tweaks, if that makes sense. Now at default, when you tweak something, it opens up right in front of the video that you're seeing, so you can't see what you're doing to your video, which is just doesn't make any sense. But you can change how it looks and where it shows up, but I still think that it's just a less bad way of showing it. But I find the best way to use this to just make the HUD show up over your scopes, like over all of the scopes that you have open all the time. But I really hope that they figure out a better way to implement this, because this idea is just perfect. I really like this idea. It's just not implemented the way it should be. So now you might be thinking it's just a different way of working, and we can all get used to different ways of working, because the tools that we all have used for ages and the tools that we love are still in there. It's just a different way of working, right? Well, you would be wrong, because the tools that we know and love, at least some of them, are completely missing. If you think about your favorite tool for color grading, I would guess that it's either curves, HSL secondary, or the color wheels. Now, all of these three are actually gone from this new color mode. And I think those are the three most powerful color grading tools that any software has. So let's talk about curves. So if we add the contrast kit module, we kind of have this thing here that somewhat resembles curves as you look at the scopes and how they kind of create a curve. But the whole idea of curves is that you can add these individual points and tweak different brightness values of your image very precisely, and you have a lot of control over the contrast in your image thanks to the way a traditional curve works. Now with the new tool, you can just drag up or down or left or right and tweak the contrast in a very odd way without really having basically any control over what you're doing. You're just tweaking the amounts in an insanely odd way with three different curve-ish things, but you can't really actually control things like the black or white points, and you can't even see a value of how much you've tweaked that curve-ish thing. So the whole point of curves, which I think is one of the most, if not the absolute most powerful tool for color grading, the whole point of curves has kind of been destroyed right now. On a Reddit post, an Adobe engineer actually commented that you're shaping the curve by targeting parts of the image instead of placing points, which at least to me means that Adobe is actually making the process of color grading and adding contrast a little bit easier, but they are taking away the creative freedom from us creators, and at least I want to have the full control, the creative control over my footage and the way my image looks, instead of giving that control over to an engineer at Adobe just because they think it's better to make things a little bit easier for us. You do also kind of have color wheels if you add the clip adjustment thing, but once again, it's going to be a big learning curve to figure out how this works now, but I do see the potential here. You have the different brightness zones and you can add more of them and then tweak the settings in a similar way to color wheels. So if and hopefully when this gets refined, I think there's a lot of potential in this tool, and it seems like a very good, even a better way to color grade than the traditional color wheels. But it's just a different way, and we have to learn to use these instead of using color wheels the way we're all used to using them in pretty much every single color grading software since the launch of color grading softwares. Now, when it comes to HTML secondary or tweaking individual colors, you have the color shift module where you have these preset colors picked from the actual frame, and you can add more, but only by using an eyedropper to pick colors from the frame. And as I just said, they are already here, so you actually can't add more colors, and you can select to show all colors. But all in all, this is kind of like the HTML module in Adobe Lightroom, but instead of using sliders to tweak everything, which we are all again used to, you're now fiddling around with these circles and dragging every direction, and it's just mad how hard it is to get things where you want them to be. And I also cannot figure out how to set the editing range properly, so I can only tweak the width starting from the selected color, but not the center point or how the width falls off to either side of the selected color. Also, if we add an adjustment layer on top of our footage, we can go into the properties and tweak some color parameters here, but this is very limited. And by the way, this properties panel also works for every single type of normal video as well. And when we go back into the color workspace, we can't even see the adjustment layer here anymore, so we cannot tweak it here. But instead, they have introduced a way to create clip groups in the color mode, so you can edit the colors of several clips at once. So this is once again a completely different way of editing colors of several clips at once compared to how we're used to doing things. And what I'm concerned about with this is when with adjustment layers, you could adjust the opacity and keyframe the opacity to go, for example, from 0 to 100 and gradually tweak those colors through time. Now, I don't know if it's possible, but I haven't found a way to do that. When it comes to masking and the all-new incredible object mask tool in Premiere, we can mask things out straight here in the color mode and track it just as before if we open up the effect controls panel in here, and then we can select the mask here in our color tweaking panel and then add a new module and start tweaking. So luckily they haven't broken this masking stuff. All in all, I guess the issue I have with the color mode here is that it's so different from anything that at least I have ever seen or used in any other software that it's just a complete new learning curve to learn to color grade our footage, which is an essential part of a workflow for creating a perfect video. So I don't know, what I'm thinking is Adobe, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. I'm not saying Lumetri Color was a perfect way to tweak your colors, especially like under the hood, but if you want to create a new color rendering engine for Premiere, why not just use that new engine for Lumetri Color, because we're all used to working in Lumetri Color, and then you could introduce new tools into Lumetri to play alongside the old tools that we're used to working with. So we would have this like old way of working and then some new tools on top of them, and they would all just work a lot better thanks to that new color rendering engine that at least I think the color mode has. That's what I've read online. So if that's true and the colors look better thanks to this, that's a good thing, obviously, but we just have to learn to kind of get the colors to where we want them to be. Now, talking about the old Lumetri Color, if we drop that onto a clip as an effect and open up the effect controls, we can tweak the colors with these old tools. However, for example, some of the curves have just gone completely missing, but I hope this is just a bug in the beta version of Premiere. Also, we're now working in the effect controls panel instead of the Lumetri Color panel, which was just better in every way compared to the effect controls. But even though, as you maybe have understood from what I've been talking, I kind of hate this new workspace, I don't think it's all bad. There's a lot of good stuff in here too. And also, let's keep in mind that this is the first iteration of this all new workspace in the beta version of Premiere, so it's probably going to get a lot better before it gets the official release in the public version of Premiere. So the first good thing here is the look of this workspace. I think it looks fresh in a way, but I never would have complained about the old Lumetri Color's UI either. It's also very easy to see a preview of all your clips and how their colors look, so I think that makes it easier to match the colors between shots. Also, the modular workflow is kind of nice because you can just add the modules that you want and keep things a bit more organized and tidy. You can also add several of the same module if you need to, but the best thing here is definitely the fact that you can add these modules to the full sequence at once, so you can give your whole video a specific look at once. There's also a film emulator, a flare tool, and the sharpening with the new detail tool has been made a lot more precise. So those are a couple of nice features too. And as you can see with the sharpening, some tools do actually have sliders to tweak them too. And I hope we get these kind of sliders to every tool in here. So there are some good things in the new color mode workspace, but the overall experience at this point in time, in my opinion, is so bad that I really hope they work on this a lot more before it completely replaces Lumetri Color. And they do say on their website that while color mode is nearly feature complete, it's still a work in progress, and there are a few new features and refinements yet to come, such as digital keying for masked isolations, additional style modules, and various other targeted enhancements. And this tells me that they will work on this before it gets released, and this is just to show us what they are working on. Personally, I just want to have the old curves back. I want to have a proper ageisal secondary tool, and I want the ability to use something like adjustment layers that I can keyframe the opacity over time. But I do believe that there's a good reason for this full renewal, full redo of the coloring workspace and how we color grade in Premiere. And I think the Lumetri Color engine was a bit outdated, so it's a good thing that they're working on this to get us some better tools. But I think they just released this a little bit too early. Now, I will be testing this out as much as I can, and I will try to learn all the ins and outs of it. But for now, I want to know what you think about this. So drop a comment down below, and I would love to talk about how you see this new tool. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think Lumetri Color was better? Do you think that we are going in the right direction? What are your opinions? Just tell me down in the comments and let's talk about this. But that is all I have for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Shoo.